She's sharing the screen.
Good afternoon, all. On behalf of IoT Academy, we welcome you all for the 7th session of National Level Faculty Development Program on Teaching and Learning Process in HEIs. Let me introduce the resource person of today's session, Dr. Tajinder Kaur. Dr. Tajinder is currently working as a principal in Guru Gangdevji College of Education, Katwa, Jammu. Her qualifications include MA, MA, MPhil and PhD. She has an experience of 16 years in the field of education. She has started her career as an assistant professor in a B.Ed college. She has presented numerous papers at local, national, and international level. She has also participated in various national and international workshops, seminars, FDPs, and conferences. With this, we hand over the session to Dr. Tajinder. Ma'am, please. Ma'am, you're in mute, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am, you're in mute, ma'am. You have to unmute.
Thank you, ma'am, for giving me an opportunity to present a paper on stress and time management for teachers. As we all know, stress is a very common word in our day-to-day life. If we ask a person, what is the issue? He said, I'm in stress. If we ask the child, what is the problem? I'm in stress. What is the matter behind that? The reason is that there is a lot of homework I can't done. Same with the case of the teacher. If we ask them, how's your day? It's a very stressful day. Why it is a stressful day? Because there's a lot of hectic work given by the administration, lot of tasks which is given by the school. And it is very hard for us to manage with the school affairs and home affairs. So stress is a very common in our day-to-day life. And if you see that in the rapidly changing and advancement of technology, it affects everyone, especially the teachers. When during COVID-19, education system, the whole teaching is converted into the online. And there are so many areas, mountaineering areas, where there is no facility of internet, or where the teachers are hardly to know about the technology. They are facing a lot of stress at that time. So stress, if we say that, is a very common, usual word which we are using in our day-to-day life. And everyone is facing through it, either an individual, either a teacher or any job-oriented person who is facing the stress. Here, my stress is connected with the teachers. Teachers, no doubt we can say they contribute a lot to the society. Teaching has long been recognized as one of the 5 most stressful occupations. Teaching carries a high degree of emotional labor and with that stress. Teachers play a critical role in shaping the life of our nation's children. Teachers not only facilitate learning, but also influence child social and emotional development. Today, teaching is one of the most stressful occupations. Stress not only has negative consequences for teachers, it also results in lower achievement for students and higher cost for school. So if we go through this profession, we feel that teachers are how much they are facing the stress, because the whole system of education, students' future totally depend on the teacher. And if teacher is in a pressure, it is a very hardly to say she can manage a desirable relation with the students, with the learners, with the teachers, with the administrators and their co-workers. Well, my objective is to introduce the term stress. Actually, what is stress? Why it happens in our day-to-day life? Why we are facing such kind of issue? To explain, to know about the types and causes of stress, why stress occurs, why we are facing the stress, what is the reason behind that? Is it a normal or it is a very severe? How it affects our body? How teachers are connected with the stress, why they are facing stress in their day-to-day life, and whether they are managing their time properly, or there is some drawbacks or deficiencies on the part of the teacher that they are not managing their time. For that person, what they required, they required a relaxing environment where they feel comfortable, and the need ways to relieve stress. What are the ways teachers should adopt to from getting relief from the stress? So first question here arises is, what is stress? Let's think about it. It's a condition or feeling exhausted when a person perceives that the demand on his mental, physical, and financial capabilities exceeds the personal and the social sources that he is able to mobilize. Very clearly, this definition explains how we are feeling exhausted when our mental position is not in that condition to accept the changes or to whatever we are expecting from the society or our personal needs are required. If these are not fulfilled, that it is go beyond our limits, our capabilities, our potential, automatically it disturb our mindset. And mindset when disturbed, reaction automatically comes. And how it comes in a physical, mental, or emotional adjustment. That means we are not adjusting ourselves mentally as well as emotionally. We have seen that number of people are suffering from that. Example I am giving you that for last week, one of the associate professor has come. He belongs to psychological background. He is from the psychology department in Jammu University. Has committed the suicide. The reason behind that, he was tortured by his seniors. Maybe some nepotism was there. Maybe some other things which are like pullings are there. And being a psychologist, he has committed the suicide. So this is not. It's a very very dangerous act for an individual when it goes beyond our limits. So our body how much reacts? It depends whether we feel frustrated, angry, nervousness, conscious. It disturbs the physiological and psychological mindset of the individual. Naturally, we have seen, as I already told you, in our day-to-day routine, we are facing the stress among our administrators, stress from the family, stress from the society, because society is tremendously changing. Our social structure, our culture, our values are changing, and it is very hard for an individual how to handle these things in a very smoothly and logical way. Then what is job stress? Job stress can be defined as the harmful physical and emotional response that occur when requirement of the job do not match the capabilities, resources, or needs of the worker. Nowadays, why I feel that I am being a principal of B.Ed college, I usually met with my students, pupil teachers. When I asked them why you choose the teaching profession, they said, "Ma'am, we don't have the option. That's why we, for getting the degree and for a good job, we choose this profession." That means heartily, emotionally, they are not involved in this profession. They just choose this profession to get a job. When there is no emotionally attachment with the job, how you give the best output? So job stress automatically comes when you join some institution and you are not according to the expectation of that organization. Naturally, a stress occurs in the individual. And when we are talking about the teaching, so teaching is automatically a stressful occupation. High level of stress are affecting teachers' health and well-being, causing teachers burnout, lack of engagement, job dissatisfaction, poor performance in some of the highest turnover rates. I have seen in many schools where the pressure, a lot of pressure is given to teacher as compared to student, because every expectation is in the hands of teacher. Teacher has to look after the student's record. Teacher has to look after whether the progress of the student is done or not. Teacher has to look after whether she has prepared the lesson plans or other activities in time or not. Teacher has to look after the whether day meal arrangements are there or not there. Teacher has to look after the supervisory staff, whether it is working or not working. Everything is there, but the piece and the part of the teacher is somewhere is missing. If we say about talk about the stress, so normally stress is the normal routine of our life. We can say that we have facing two types of stress. One is the good stress and the other is the bad stress. What is good stress? If we don't have the stress to get a good job, we can't motivate ourselves for performing certain tasks. So good stress automatically focus our energy, motivate us, and energize us to do some tasks so that we can achieve our goal in life. Every individual has certain goals. For the satisfaction of that goals, they are working. They're having a stress in their mind how to achieve. Some students want to do IAS, some want to go for MBBS, some want to go for some other kind of professional degrees. For that purpose, if they don't have the stress, positive stress, if they don't have, they can't achieve their targets. So it is a very short term. When they achieve, they feel satisfied. It is perceived to be within our coping abilities. It is all depend on our abilities, whether we have the potential or not. And when the result occurs, we feel exciting. And in excitement, we also feeling the stress. When our results come, what we feel? Sometimes excitement is there, tension is there, whether our name is in the list or not, whether we achieve our target or not, and definitely sometimes it improves our performance. So that means stress is not a bad thing. Somewhere it is a good thing which motivates an individual to gain mm, something in your life, gain to achieve your targets in your life. And if we are talking about distress, so distress means when we are not satisfied. It causes anxiety, our concern, some anxiety. When some anxiety occurs in our body, it automatically disturbs our mental setup. It disturbs our physiological setup. Heartbeat raise automatically. What to do? How to do? Maybe this can be like whether I can achieve this or not. How can I handle the situation? Certain things which disturb the mind setup of the individual, and one stress is automatically goes higher, 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 higher. Then person turn into feels unpleasant experiences, loss of sleep, insomnia, loss of appetite. It's a very hard for him how to handle all these things. And when a person feeling such kind of stress, his performance automatically decreases. He is unable to perform a very good way. Then what are the types of stress? Some are acute, very common short-term stress, and some are episodic, maybe overloading with the responsibilities and schedule, like a mother having a lot of tasks to perform. If I talk about the acute, these are the short-term stress, like examination. When you have your examination nearby, a stress comes in your mind. How to complete the syllabus in time, how to provide the feedback, how to secure the good marks. These are the journal tests, the acute stress. And when we are talking about the episodic test, so you have seen that being a woman has a lot of responsibilities in the society, in the home, at the school, and when she is performing all the tasks, she is playing a various role. So these kinds of stress, when she manage all these things, so it is also it's a small type. But when I talk about the chronic is a long term stress, and there are so many people who are having the chronic stress. Because there is individual difference. They are exceptional type of people. Some are introvert, some are extrovert people, and sometime in a system, when we are living in a society, we are facing that people are criticized by the other people. Sometimes they are criticized them personality wise. They don't have good personality, or they have bully, and sometimes they are facing a lot of issues which disturb their mindset up. And when their mindset setup is disturbed, when they are not fully confident about their personality traits or intelligence level or some other things, chronic stress occurs. Slowly and gradually they think about it, why people are like this, why seniors are bullying me, why they nobody understand me, why there a certain question occurs in our mind, and slowly and gradually an individual turn into the depression. And such kind of stress creates a lot of issue. As I told that one of the psychologists had committed a suicide. So that means he suffered from maybe chronic. And at the other side, he was delivering a lot of lectures, presentation in various universities, departments, industries, organizations, police departments to guide the people how to cope up with the stress. So we can't imagine who is suffering from such kind of issue, such kind of stress, and what's the result of that body gives. What's the reaction of that stress? What are the causes behind the stress? As we all know, pressure of time, inability to act, pressure when we have a lot of pressure. Still morning to till evening, if you see the teacher position, they are still working. We have few in-service teachers. When I talk to them, they told me that it's a very hard to do a job being a teacher, because every time you are cautious, you are anxious what your seniors say. What is the senior give you the task? They never think about whether the teacher is mentally fresh or tired. But they are giving within a time limit, they have to present that task. So pressure is always disturbing the mindset of the individual. Workload. Yes, workload is very tough, because excess of everything is bad. These are these things, when we are giving a lot of workload in the hands of the teacher or hands of any individual, you feel that it gives insight. At late night, in so many hours, here I have not completed my task, how to do, what to do, how to complete this task within a time. In the morning, my senior asked me to show the task, and it's very hard for me. Low sport. If we want to, if we have a workload, without the support we can't complete that task. And in working place we have seen that there is a very low sport. Everyone is trying to push the others. So push and pull technique is very common in the organization, in the industry, education system, where everyone wants to prove themselves best, but no one is best. Everyone is trying to improve themselves, but there is no support on the part of the teacher to the other teacher. That creates problem. Official statements. Yes, officially statements also matter when we are giving negative reinforcers given by the higher administration to the staff, so that also gives stress to the individual. And sometimes these kind of statements, negative reinforcers, we can say that, disturbing the mindset of the individual. You are not able for this. Why you done this? I don't think you are capable for this job. Go, leave that job. This job is not according to your taste. These are the disturbing. You can't complete your task in time. You are such a dull. You are not a good teacher, or you are not a good individual in our society. Such kind of statements sometimes disturbing the mental setup of the individual, and he feels what to do and what not to do. Conflicts. Yes, conflict arises between the two things. What to do, whether to do or not to do. When certain option comes in our life to choose the right one, and we are having the conflict whether to choose this job or that job. Suppose an individual has given an interview in a bank as well in a teacher, and both the result comes and he is selected in the both. And it is very hard for him, conflict arises between the positive. What is right for him, whether the teaching job, either the bank job. And you can say that every Tom, Dick, Harry cannot be a good teacher. When conflict occurs, and if we are not taking the right decision, whether maybe we are good in banks, but we opted the teaching profession because we feel that there is more facility in teaching profession as compared to banking, automatically you cannot do justice with the that job. Policies and directives. What kind of policies is given by the private as well as government sectors, and directions or directives given to the individual? Sometimes it is hard for an individual to follow it, implement it, and to do it and give their best. Relationship problems. Yes, sometimes at home, whether at home or a workplace, it is a very hard to maintain a positive, good relationship between the peoples. And when there is relationship issue, you automatically feel that one is trying to push the other, push or pull. Same is going on there. And if we are maintaining the relationship, adjustment is automatically done. Stress is automatically improved. Suppression techniques. There are certain things which are trying to disturb the mental setup of the individual. And when someone is trying, yeah, administration is trying to suppress their individual, they don't give them the liberty to express their views. That also creates stress among the teachers. Then our isolation, some people, I said already that okay, they are much having the introvert nature, or they are sometimes society is not accepting the people. Maybe there is some caste, class, or some other thing is worse. And when isolation comes, isolation automatically generates stress. When parents are expecting high marks from their children, and children did not get the high marks, and what the result? Student children turn into the stress. They prefer to live in isolation because their parents always trying to insult them that our student is not given the, our child is not have given the good marks. Let's see the other children, the parents have a very good getting the good marks, but our child is not like that. Sometimes rigidity also affects the stress, because if we are very rigid and we are not accepting the flexibility changing, as I already said ki there is technological advancement. If we are not accepting this technology in our day to day life, it is very hard for us to adjust in the situation, inability to think. Sometimes there is a severe stress comes in our mind, we are unable to think the to how to sort out our problems. We are not in a position to sort that issues. Sometimes it is very hard for us to take the difficult decisions, because in our society, but I have feel that being a psychologist, I have feel that in majority of cases decisions are taken by our elders. Even though when you are in a job decisions, it is very hard to take the decision whether we are capable for that job or not. If not, it is very hard for us to take the decision to quit the job and take some other better job which is suited to our capability or our interest level. Pressure to perform. Sometimes there is a pressure from the parents, from the administration, from the supervisors, that to perform well, to show themselves as much as good as they can. But nobody thinks about the capacity of an individual, whether he is capable for that or not. Under pressure, it is very hard to give a good result. Insecurity in my role means not sure about your job, not sure about your potential, not sure about your task, whether you can do it or not. Loneliness, isolation, loneliness is having the same task. Why loneliness comes? When we are failed to face the situation in a society, then loneliness occurs. When nobody is understand what is going on in the life of an individual or their near and dears, loneliness occurs. Disappointment occurs. Disappointment when you cannot fulfill your task which you are expecting in your life. There are certain goals. Every individual has certain goals. When these goals are not fulfilled by the individual in passage of time, in time, disappointment occurs. Difficult priority. It's sometimes it's very difficult to whom give the priority, whether the work or the home or the family. And when there is a gap between these two things, it is a very difficult for an individual, for a teacher to prioritize their work. Perceived expectations. Sometimes we are expecting more expectations. Here I am giving you an example of mine. 2 years before, I was selected in a school. It was an international school in Bahrain. And that time my expectation was going to be very high. Why very high? Because I feel that I'm selected in an international school. When I go there, they will give me respect and everything I am expecting, because maybe being an educationist, maybe being a principal of the college, I feel like that. But when I reach there, nobody asks me from where you come. Nobody welcomes me, and everybody looked me like a stranger. How she comes here? And slowly and gradually, I feel that the reality is quite different. What I am perceiving. So, in a natural, a fresher candidate being a fresher or an individual, when he entered into some task in some job, they are having a lot of expectations, and when their expectations are not fulfilled, are not at what they want actually, for that what purpose they join the society or they join the job, automatically stress occurs. Conflicts between my different roles. A teacher has to teacher an individual are has to play a different role in a society. Sometimes father, maybe mother, maybe family member, any family member, somebody is a part of the society, because he's a citizen of a country. He has a lot of things to perform to contribute to the society, and it is sometimes very hard to manage all the roles in a proper way. Then what are the signs? Sign of stress. How it occurs and what we feel. headache. When we are in a stress, I feel that there is some headache. We are not in a comfortable place where we can share our thoughts. We have stomach ache, ulcer, decreased immune system, insomnia, lack of appetite, increased risk of heart disease, etc. Nowadays, you have seen that people are having such kind of issue very normally. They went to doctor and asked them, we are having a gastric issue, we are having stomach, we are having headache, we are having a migraine, we are having such other kinds of issue, and doctor suggest you go and take some test and take this medicine, but no one actually knows it is all due to our stress. Because if we are taking the stress, it automatically affects our health. And when a healthy mind live in a healthy body, and naturally, emotionally, we difficulty with concentration, lack of concentration. We can say that because when we are interested in some task, we are very much attentively involved in that task. Suppose some people like cricket match. You see that how much they are involved in the whole process. They giving the predictions if which group will be, which player will be the best player, or which team will be the winner. But when we are emotionally unstable, we are emotionally weak, when there is some stress going on, we feel that we don't have any concentration. If somebody asks me, I'm not talking with you, why you are not giving me the proper reply, I said, yeah, my mind is not up to the set, because I have any issues, I have a lot of problems which I feel that I have a stress, I'm going through the stress, memory, loss of memory. you know our memory is going to be lost. If we want to do some task, we are performing some other task. Oh, I lost. Yeah, my teacher has given me some task and I forget to perform it, to complete it. What to do? Yeah, why? Because I have a lot of tension in my mind, because my head, my administration is not cooperative with me. They are always criticizing me. They're criticizing me in front of my students. They're always insulting me. So, what is the result? Emotionally, we are unstable to find out why this happens with me, because I'm trying to give my best, but there is no one is there who appreciate me, who understand me. Then an inappropriate expression of emotions. When our emotions come, sometimes we start crying. We feel very bad because low self-esteem, because we feel that no, they are not good people, either I'm not good, because no one is accepting me, no one can understand me, no one can understand my potential, I am, and I'm giving something different and they are expecting something different from me. And even though I have seen that in I don't say maximum school, but majority of school, they are stick to their words and work. They don't want that their teacher create something novelty in the system, because they said we have a limited syllabus, we have a syllabus, and within a short span, you are within a limited time, you have to complete it. And when teacher sometimes wants to create creativeness in the classroom, it is creating problem for the others. How she is doing like this when all are doing the same, and one of the teacher who is working such a different way. So that times when authorities are trying to control that one, depression, anger, and somewhere expression of emotion occurs. And that time, feel that emotionally we are how much we are weak, because we are not able to understand what is going on with us, because creativity is another part of the teacher, and intelligence is not always a creative, but creative is always an intelligent one. So we have seen that these are the kind of stress which are disturbing the, where they disturb. First, they disturb the brains and nerves. Yes, brain automatically, if some thought, negative thoughts comes in your mind, somebody has criticized you about your work, that you are not up to the expectation of your head authorities or the students. So it affects the brain, muscles, and joints. There is a pain in our muscles. We feel heaviness in our muscles. Why this happened? Today I'm feeling very tired, fatigue. There is no enthusiasm in my work. My heart rate is high. My stomach is aching. Pancreas are not proper working. There is some infection. Some is gastric issue. Intestines is their reproductive system. All these areas affected by the stress, and nowadays people, maximum majority of people went to go to the doctors and ask them they have such kind of issues. But if you uh, understand that what are the reason behind that such kind of problem if occurs, so you feel that somewhere stress is working in our body and we are facing such kind of issues. Then what is the stressor for a teacher? Why teacher is feeling stressed? One is the lesson planning. You know, lesson planning is very important part for a teacher to manage the time. But sometimes I feel that in our pre-service teacher training, we always trained our teachers to prepare your lesson plan according to the time limit, because time is there and you have to prepare the lesson plan. Content is there, strategy is there, methodology is there, teaching aids are there. You know how you can make your teaching more effective and impressive. If there is no lesson plan, because I feel that being a teacher, there is a lot of task is given to teacher, not only to teach the class, but lot of things they have to perform in the school. Sometimes it is very hard for a teacher to prepare her lesson plan. So when there is no lesson plan, so stress automatically comes on the part of the teacher. Accountability for student performance. Yes, if students' performance is poor, teacher is responsible for that. Why? Because our society is like that. Parents are expecting more and more marks, and administration from the non-schools are expecting that students' performance should be high. But no one is understand there is individual difference. There is exceptional children in the classroom, and without understanding the exceptional children, how teacher give the accountability to increase the performance of the student? Every student need a different kind of strategy of teaching. So accountability is on the part of the again teacher. If teacher doesn't know the student psychology, it is not possible for her to teach them in a proper way. Classroom management and discipline. Discipline. What kind of discipline? Self-discipline or strict discipline or imposed discipline? So classroom, how to manage the class is a part of the teacher. How to create the interest of the students, of the learner. How to sustain the attention of the student among the content. It is again important part of the teacher. If teacher is not ready for this, strict or harsh word if is used by the teacher, that creates stress among the teacher. Because discipline among in the part of the student is self-discipline. Also, teacher is also have learned the technique of self-discipline, how she can manage her class effectively and impressively. Supervisory role. How supervisory role affect teaching? Because when the supervisor supervise the teacher and see the technique, how teacher is going to be used in the classroom, sometimes lack of knowledge or lack of techniques also affect the teaching. Because teaching is not a rigid, teaching is a flexible. And when teacher enter into the classroom, she knows how to teach, what to teach, and whom to teach. And if student is not interested, she is having her responsibility how to create interest among the learners to learn. But sometimes supervisory staff is not supportive, and they think that teacher is just wasting her time in the classroom, and their comments in front of the student is not desirable for the teacher. That also creates stress among the teacher. Extracurricular activity, conducting and monitoring. Yes, sometimes I already told you the teacher's task is not only to teach in the classroom. She has to perform number of roles. Sometimes creates debates, seminars, cultural programs, then visit in trips are there, visiting slum areas, some other kind of. There are a number of tasks which the teacher is performing, and all these tasks are done by the under teacher supervision. So stress automatic comes when time is limited and there are number of activities which he has to perform within a time limit. And if these are not monitoring by the teacher properly, so it affects the teacher's personality. Taking homework, I have seen that teachers are having a lot of pressure for checking the copies, not only the copies but also the other kind of tasks they have given by the administration to do it and complete it and bring it tomorrow. Approximation, it is only the teacher who give, I think, 12 to 14 hours to school, not 6 hours, because of 6 hours in the school. And when she reached or he reached at home, there are certain tasks given by the authorities to them to complete it. And I have an example from my students. They said they at sometimes at 2 o'clock or 12 o'clock they read their books, complete their task, and in the morning at 4 o'clock they are preparing their breakfast, lunch, and everything, and get ready for their children, and then go to the school. So you can imagine the teacher stress level is how much high. Difficult students, I already told you there are exceptional children. Exceptional children is problematic children are there, genius children are there, delinquent students are there in the classroom, backward students are in the classroom, and it is sometimes very hard for a teacher to understand the psychology of each and every student. And sometimes these students create problems for the teacher to handle them. Then the stress automatically comes when the complaint comes from the side of the students to the higher authority that this teacher is not good because she speaks harshly. Yeah, sometimes she speaks very strictly to these students. So you can imagine that these students create problem for the teacher to run work in a very smooth way. Lack of administrative support. Sometimes there is no support given by the administration. Why? Because they are because I'm living in Jammu. So what is the mindset of the administration? But I feel that they have only concern with their business. They are running the school not for imparting a right education to the right children. They just running the school for business and in a competition way. So they are expecting much and more and more from their teachers. And if their teachers are not go at their level, they are terminated them. So lack of security, job security, always create pressure among the teacher to feel that how administrative is not supporting to them in a very good way, in a desirable way, and they are feeling such kind of issues. Pressure from parents. So, today's parent psychology is that they are not looking whether their child is having what kind of capabilities or potential. They are expecting more and more marks. My child is only intelligent than the other children. This is not possible. Everyone is intelligent, but everyone is intelligent in different tasks. So parents always pressurize the teacher. Sometimes teacher do the partiality. They did not give good marks to their children. They are sometimes like creating a problem for our children. So during the parent teacher meet, I feel that parents always giving pressurize to the teacher. If there is some mistake on the part of the student, it is only the teacher is responsible for that, not the child is responsible for that. So parents are not taking their responsibility. They hold all responsibility to the teachers. And then comes the teacher's evaluation. So teachers evaluation is given by teacher assessment. Lot of scales are there, but in the school result is shows the teacher's evaluation. Students test the teacher's evaluation, but actually teacher is at very creative. If teacher is interested in his her job, then he is very creative. His tasks speak. His personality, his task, and whatever the result, whatever the performance, whether in the classroom and outside of the classroom, he or she has done, it shows. So it evaluates his personality, his performance, his achievement is shown. Ongoing learning, job uncertainty, ongoing learning. Learning is a continuous process. We start from birth and continue till death. This is the funda of learning process. So I said during COVID-19, teacher a lot facing the technology issue because they don't know how to use the Google Meet or Zoom or other technology resources, because that time they have not aware about all these things. Only few teachers are having the knowledge of the use of technology. So if the teacher is not aware about the technological advancement, automatically it gives pressure to the teacher to prepare the presentations, to prepare the content, to prepare the notes, and how to present it to the students. Job uncertainty. Naturally, in a private sector, there is no flexibility of job. And job insecurity or job uncertainty always creates stress among the teacher to whether she is in the job or not. Every day she thinks about it, whether it is good or bad, whether I don't know what my senior is expecting from me, whether they are satisfied. She is always trying to do that task where the seniors are satisfied. And what do they want? I don't know. Whether they want professionalism or they want some kind of, I have seen that like bullying and other kind of drawbacks are going on there, which also creating problem for the teacher. And integration of intelligence and technology. Intelligence and technology go simultaneously. If both are not connected, artificial intelligence, both are not connected, it creates problem. Intelligence is add-on, but how beautifully we use it, it matters. If we are not beautifully present it creates problem, it creates stress among the teachers. Change in curriculum, change in educational policy. No, here you have seen that we have seen that educational policy 2020 comes, where the whole system is going to be changed. And every year there is a little change in the curriculum. To impart, diversification of courses are introduced, skill-based courses are introduced, and it is the responsibility of the teacher to go through it. If teacher understand that what is the demand of the society with the changing scenario, automatically stress reduce. And if he don't understand or he don't understand, stress comes in the mind of them. Then what thing is important? That is time management. Because pressure is there, stress is there, overwork is there, load is there. But without the management of time, it is very hard to do the things. So what is time management? Time management is a skill that could do life's beautiful work wonder if practiced daily. Can we prepare the notes? Can we prepare the notepad where we mention the time, how much time we are giving our professional life, how much time we are giving to our personal life, how much time we are giving to our society. So time management means rightly managing time available to one. Time is significant and it must not be wasted. One can always do much in a little time, and so much accomplished time is essential for student and teacher. Student and teacher. When you hear the ring of the school bell, what's the reaction? Reaction, oh, time. So we should be punctual, otherwise leave will be mentioned, otherwise insult by the senior. So time plays a very significant role for the teacher as well as for the learner. What is the importance of the time management? One of the greatest challenge facing beginning teacher is time management, and time is a critical resource for learning to teach, because beginning teachers dedicated more time to the preparation of classroom instructional material. Time management is more of a responsibility, can quickly overwhelm the sources. So how it is a greatest challenge, because when the teachers who are not experienced one entered into the teaching profession, it is a very hard for them to manage their time, because they focus to plan their lessons. They don't have set goals. They don't prioritize their work. They don't know the time limits. They don't know how to organize their resources. They don't know how to pre-plan the task and to how to do it in a proper way. Then how do the teacher manage their time? As a teacher, become more and more accountable for student success because the whole system, teacher, students' personality, future citizen, everything is depend upon the teacher. And taking advantage of every minute of class time become crucial. Efficient use of class time can increase student performance and teacher anxiety. How perfectly, efficiently teacher can organize the class, how proficiently teacher can organize the activities depends. If she knows the way to spend time and stress, manage their stress, like goal spend time thinking about your goals and priorities, personal, professional, and family. A teacher, an individual has to play a lot of roles in the society. He or she are having their personal priorities. And it is only if we set the goal, if what to do, what not to do, what is important for me to do the first. And if we do the small goal, can act as a stepping stone towards bigger ones and give teachers confidence that change is possible. Suppose if you have given a time limit to every task, it is very easier to achieve your goals. Make a list on it. Get a notepad, diary, calendar, or even the notes app on your phone. Use this to keep a daily or weekly list. How many people are preparing the day notepad? I don't think majority of people are estimating each and everything in their mind. Yes, today I will do this. And at the end of the day, they are thinking, yeah, few of them I have not done because I was very busy in performing some other task. So when you develop a habit of writing a notepad where you can keep track of the tasks that being moved are not getting done, then ask yourself why you are not able to get to them. What is the reason behind that? And try next day to complete it within a span of time. Prioritize the important tasks. What are your priorities? Tasks can be grouped under four categories. Some are urgent and important, not urgent but important, urgent but not important, neither urgent, not important. We have different types of tasks. Clear your urgent and important tasks that then concentrate on not urgent but important tasks. By focusing on their tasks ahead of time, you minimize the likelihood of them becoming urgent and important later. We know we are in our 12 hours, we do something which is very important for us, but sometimes we are ignoring the important tasks and only do that task which is not important for us. If we frame the list of important other tasks, it is very easier for him to complete it, finish it in a time. Break tasks down into manageable stress. People should break the task into smaller steps and tackle them one at a time, and enjoying the feeling of satisfaction when the teacher takes each one off. Recognize and reward your achievement. Always reward yourself for achieving tasks. If you do something, you feel happy. There could be anything you enjoy, your class lecture with a book or a special meal with friends. Recognize and reward your achievements. How you reward your achievements? If someone is appreciating you and you feel happy. If someone is discouraging you or criticizing you, you feel very sad. That means your key is in the hands of others. Think about it, introspect to yourself, and give your reward yourself. Whether you are doing, if you do something good and you feel that today I have done a very good task, appreciate it, enjoy it, share with your friends, and tell them how beautifully you have completed your task. Rest up ahead of intense periods of work. If you have a particular period of intensity and business coming up, such as an inspection, be sure to get adequate rest before the intensity hits. Even though I have seen when inspection comes, all are having a pressure, whether the administration, whether the staff, whether the principal. Why? Because they know there is a lot of pending work which is waiting for the inspection. When the inspection comes, we will complete it, and it's better to to decide it, divide the work, divide the intensity, whether it is important. If it is important, finish it earlier before coming the inspection. And when you do it, if there is a gap, it's a rest between the work, you feel there is no pressure from your side. Value your time, give respect to your time, work out the cost of your time. Feel that. It is very important every day. Try to check within an hour how much you have completed your task. If is it take 1 hour or 1.5, 2, and try to increase so that you know that how much you have the capability to finish the task and at time. Workplace wellness program. So if there is a lot of pressure in the schools, in the college, in the universities, there should be such type of program should be organized which give teachers strength, physical strength, or with that activities like games, sport should be a part of the teacher. They should participate in such kind of activities so that they feel happy. They physically or mentally they feel fresh, energetic, and able to do the task more and more. Social emotional learning programs. Emotional intelligence is very important, and intelligence is a very good thing. But emotionally, how much you are intelligently handle the situation, that matters. And every institution, every organization should have organized such type of cultural activities or such kind of programs which enthusiase the teacher to do some task, and which gives you they give them happiness, enjoyment, and all that things which boost their energy to do the task. Mindfulness or stress management program. How to manage the stress. Stress is a very common thing which comes in our day-to-day life. So we can't go through, without the stress. So we have to organize, like yoga is a place where we can, and meditation, spirituality program should be organized in the school, and at the college or at the university level, so that give them some time, fix day for that activities, so that every individual who is going to be hectic throughout his work for a week or a month or whatever the task, full day they will do, and they feel happy that their mind is going to be fresh. They are ready to perform new tasks. They are ready to accept the challenges. They are ready to sort out the problems. Supportive school culture. It is very important that culture, school culture, or the culture of an organization should be sportive. Try to see, try to watch that individuals who are either is a student or either is a teacher, to see whether they are indulged, are having a depression or some kind of anxiety or some kind of stress. Try to support them, try to develop supportive things in them, try to develop their confidence level, to train their mind so that they are able to handle their stress level. If we are not supportive, automatically we have seen there are a number of children, number of students who are committing suicides, are taking such wrong act which is not desirable. There are the teachers who are also went into the depression or went into the stress and quit from the job. Yeah, terminated from the job. So this is not the good or healthy sign for a teacher. So try to develop such kind of culture in the institutions, in the academics, in the universities, in the college, that everybody lives in amicably. Try to share the problems of each other, give them support. If one teacher is not as much as to the expectation of the management or the administration, try to give them full support to develop their potentialities, so that they should prove to be an asset for the school and for the society. Greater job control. If we are giving government as well as private, if there is job security is there, if the individual or if the teacher knows that with the passage of time, they will administration or organization provide them the incentives and other things, so automatically they feel happy and easier. Practice emotional frustration. You know, Everyone, there are very few people who are not emotionally unstable, who are not emotionally unstable, but maximum are emotionally unstable. Why? Because what I have seen that small things disturb the mindset of the individual. Small things. If someone says you are not looking good today, disturb. Oh, what happened with me? Why I'm not looking good today? What happened? Your dress is not suiting you. Your dress is not up to the mark. Who suggests you to take this dress? Oh no, my dress is not up because we are not sure about ourselves, whether we have a good personality, whether our decisions are right or not. So when the environment which demoralized us are creating some kind of criticism to us, so emotionally we feel unstable or frustrated. So always try to give emotional boosters so that practice give them no, this is a very good thing, you are emotionally, you are a strong man, you are a strong woman, you can do it. But with the passage of time, or definitely it takes time to improve yourself. So these are the very supportive words which helps the individual, help the teacher to cope up with the stress. As the stress indicates, stand back, remove yourself from the stressful situation. Take a deep breath, count to 5 and think about the choice that is best for you. Relax, do something that relaxes you. Exercise, get that stressful energy out in a way that works for you. Sleep, take a nap or just rest up for a while. Speak, talk to someone about it and share your emotions. What are the tips for learn to plan, recognize and accept limits, avoid unnecessary teachers' competition, talk out your problems, learn to play a sport, decide to be positive, love yourself more than anybody else, exercise, change your surroundings. It is very important that if we are living in a society, stress automatically occurs. Sometimes from the outer side, sometimes from our inner side. It is our duty, our responsibility to introspect ourselves, to give respect ourselves, to think about ourselves. What are my potentials? What are my qualities? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? And how I can work on my weaknesses. I accepting criticism because criticism help me to improve myself. If we are accepting all these things and manage our time wisely, the stress automatically reduce. I hope you can enjoy it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The session is open for discussion now. You can unmute and interact with the resource person, or you can post your questions in the chat box also. Ma'am is there to help you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all.
Good evening, ma'am. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Ma'am, I have on clarification. Ma'am, what is the best strategy to manage the stress?
Pardon, sir. Please you repeat the question.
Ma'am, what is the best strategy to manage the stress?
Best strategy to know yourself. If you know yourself, do meditation, think about it, understand it, and whether you think it is more important than you, then you go into the stress. If you feel that you have the capability to sort out this issue, then there is no need to take the stress.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Okay, thank you so much.
Any other questions? You can post your questions in chat box also. Any questions? You can post your questions in chat box also. I'll read it to ma'am. She's here to help you. Any questions? Ma'am, think there are no more questions, ma'am. Shall we wind up, ma'am? Think there are no questions, ma'am. Shall we wind up, ma'am?
Of course, ma'am.
On behalf of IoT Academy, we thank Dr. Tajinder ma'am for the interesting and enlightening session, ma'am. We thank you once again for the amazing presentation, and we thank you for enhancing understanding related to stress and time management with the commendable presentation, ma'am. Thank you very much for your efforts, ma'am. I thank all
Thank
the
you.
participants. You're welcome, ma'am. I thank all the participants for joining the session today. Thank you, ma'am, and thank you all. Kindly submit the feedback form using the link that has been posted in the chat box. Thank you all. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much for your efforts, ma'am. Kindly submit the feedback form using the link that has been posted in the chat box. Thank you all. The certificates will be delivered within 2 days through mail. The certificates will be delivered within 2 days through mail. Thank you all.